usually, unless you print it your own. Great. And then, instead of a big area, you would have,
You're trying to get the.
you would have.
Like that's probably a better angle.
Okay.
I don't think they know. Yeah.
I thought he was playing the piano, that's all.
Alex playing, I'm
Gotcha.
okay. Here we go, homeward bound. So before we start, real quick, just a couple of things. The opening page is a solo, and we either have two soloists or one, because the ending is almost the same. And it can be the same person, usually it is, but I don't remember what we used to do, but whatever we used to do is kind of, that just doesn't happen anymore. All bets are off. So for the tour, these are available. I've not assigned any solos yet. For this coming Sunday, it's whoever's here, obviously. You would need to be here for this. But if you'd like to try one, let's see, was this one of them you mentioned? No. Okay. This is, anyway, let's all sing it for now since I see no hands shooting up in the air. Beginning. You all know Elliot? Anyway, if you don't, here's Elliot. He's traveling with, and
in the quiet, still roar, when the moon has gone to bed, and the sparrows stop their singing, and the sky is clear and red, when the summer ceases spring, when the corn is past its prime, when nature's lost its meaning, running onward, nothing time, but it out through the mountains, shining out through the mountains, every
what's those all vowels, particularly words like bound, etc. Good. Basses, particularly basses, tenors are used to harmonizing, but basses, make sure you come in on the third of the key chord. There in bar 28. Mi, so, mi, jingle bells. Good, let's keep going. 1 and 2.
If you find it in your reason, if you are hungry, I return. Silence to be listening. In the road I'll stop and turn. Then the wind will set me racing as I carry his hand. And the path I'll be retracing as I onward wander again. Running out through the chasm, getting out through the mountains, every grave to run my longing, and I'll return
Stop a second. It's return, not return. You know, and there's another one that does that. I forget the word. Return. Anyway, retracing. Just make sure you don't over accent the E vowel on the unaccented REs. There's some no breath passages here. You see where they are. Marta has put them in. or maybe Jay Alphonse, actually, it's Jay's doing, I have a feeling, bar 48. You try not to breathe in 49 as well. Altos, we try not to breathe so that you can pole vault your way up to that harmony note in measure number, can anyone tell me what we're talking about? 32, yes. Tenor bass, we sing up to the brick wall in bar 32. That brick wall is the third beat. But sometimes we don't, like for instance, measure 10, everybody. The D of red, even if you're not the soloist, I think, well, the soloist can do whatever he or she wants, I guess. But we will breathe at the prime in bar 14, tenor bass, as well as bar 18, obviously. Return, yeah, return, not return. Yep. Bar 24, it's a quick breath. Find my call. If you throw the ling away, you wouldn't accent the ling and you'll shorten it and kind of throw it away, but not early. It's just call and I'll return. Yeah, I apostrophe LL. How would you sing that word? Some of you are homogenizing all the vowels, including the L. I'll return, I'll. We walk down the think dentist office for as long as you can kind of get away with it. Because some of you tend to go the other direction too quick. Anyway, that's great. Now this song seems to have a lot of those ahs and aisles. So just spend a little more time on the ah vowels, some of you. Of course, some of you are taking it too seriously and you overdo it. So be careful. If you're one of those people, you may know who you are by now. Question? Great. Cool. Let's do, I think we're fine. Let's do the ending. Basses and sopranos. Careful, the very end. You'll see why in a minute. Here we go. Last page. Oh, 2. What I do is I cut them off, and then I wait a little bit so that we miss the bird, and then we hear the bird. I'll be home. So just try to tune that really well. Bass on the A flat, not flat. Don't be flatter than an A flat. And then sopranos on the G natural. Ready and go. I'll be home. Just sopranos and basses. We're going to continue this time. I'll be I want basses and sopranos only, and we're going to freeze on each note. So it's perfecto. I'll be home. Between the two parts. Luckily, you're far apart otherwise, but those are all 7 chords, right? So then we'll do it one more time. We'll add alto tenor. Ready and one. I'll be home. Listen around, so we're on the same chord. Can you see the last chord? Any questions on that piece, other than who's doing the solos? Yeah, I like it nice and slow, and then slowly, later when we sing something about the wind sets me racing, so I kind of move it along in bar 38. But we always relax the ends of the phrases, so we don't rush those. It's like, here's it, like bar 40, and then it's not a major retard or anything. It's just a natural information. How many? Yeah, I think most of you now have either rehearsed it on Zoom recently with me or have sung it a number of times. Let's see one of those. Sure. Great. So let's talk about that later. Okay, we'll come back to that issue later. But that's good. I picked the easy, friendly, beautiful one to start. Let's look at The Road Goes Ever On and On. It's one that is a little more challenging, but in a way it's not. Some of you know it really well because you were there when it debuted. And we may be the only two choirs that have sung this piece because it was not published, not allowed to be published because of the Tolkien estates. Heavy-handed, I mean, there are severe restrictions on using their intellectual property. Okay. Some of you know this by heart. In bases we ooh hum it. We don't just hum it, we ooh hum it. So it's like an ooh vowel. I think we'll be fine. Usually fine. The trick on this piece is it never tends to stay in a place. Tempo-wise, it either speeds up gradually or it slows down gradually. So you have to kind of be ready to do one or the other. And rarely you get to enjoy being in one place with the tempo. Page 3, sopranos and altos do not sing the tied over eighth notes. This is the composer that confuses a little bit. She writes them, but she doesn't want you to sing them. Does that make sense? No? I know, it doesn't make sense either. So she specifically asked us, don't sing those eighth notes. That's why she's writing. The end will go on. There's no vowel, I should say. Don't let any vowel trickle over. The end is the cut. It's the when you stop phoning. And basically same thing like where. Well, the next last bar. Oh, bases at page 4. You have some of those. She writes half notes, 5 to 8 notes. Those 8 notes, you just stop singing on those 8 notes. Let's see what else. The last 2 pages is pretty much a gradual slowdown. So don't slow down. And some of you have this memorized speed-wise as well, and that's dangerous. It's kind of like the autopilot. We've got some autopilot singers, you know. And with a song that some of you have been singing for 20 years, I can understand why. So just try to be flexible and get a sense of the group speed. And I'm the driver, I guess. So try to let me do that. All right, so here's the beginning. Adina. Gradual, and the funny words are, and I must follow if I can. That's kind of like what I would write in italics for the chorus. underneath the lyrics. But there's a poco accelerando all the way during that. Turn the page and it's even faster. And we decided not to breathe top of page 2 as a choir. You can breathe whenever you want. Thank you for that. But top of 2, the idea is to carry all that through until Aaron's beat, if you can. And the retard starts. I kind of started the retard a little earlier just so that we're not surprised by it later. All right, good. So we'll just try that one more time. There's a few surprise notes in there, sopranos and others. The road goes F, 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 G, E, F, G, 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 A, A, B, natural, G, S, A, C, 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 B. That's not. This would be, who's minor scale? I know, yeah, it's Dorian. It's Dorian here. It's not the harmonic minor or the melodic minor or the bass minor. It's Dorian. So here we go. Pretty good. I heard some people wanting to go their own tempo a little bit, but that's fine. If you just try to be gradual. Alphas, when you come in, don't be seduced by their tempo. We're going to go faster. Tenors, when you come in, don't be seduced by their tempo, particularly theirs, or theirs as well. We're going to go faster when you can. So just be ready to do that. And I need you to help me with that. Because I have a fear that when you hear the altos and it smells you a thing, you're going to like, okay, I know my thing. But your thing should be different than your thing. Or at least be ready to do that. And the bass is fastest yet when you have words. First word. Okay, we'll come back to that later. I just want you to get used to this. Okay, now page 3 is there's not so much speeding up on page 3, but it is this. You have no questions? Everybody, sure. It's that kind of thing, right? This is page 4. Just remember it's only 2 counts. All those long notes are only 2 counts. Particularly the first measure. I think you get used to it later, but the first measure is loud and you want to like sing longer in it. But you have to jigsaw puzzle the road goes ever on between what the tenors and sopranos. Let's just do page 3 again, just so we can get those notes a little bit better. Bass, you do the same notes the sopranos do at the beginning. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. It's the same part there. Sopranos altos is tempting to crescendo on page 4, but apparently you don't do it until the very last few notes. The tenors and basses are in crescendo officially. You can stay nice and soft until the big swell before page 4. This page 3, this is we don't together here. I can tell because towards the is messy words. You can tell when you do those words because they're loud consonants, and we were not all together then. So if we can be on the same train, moving the same speed generally, it's not enough engine caboose, you know. But if we can try to watch this gradual slow down. I use the word weary feet to remind you we're going to slow down. I use the word pursuing to remind you that we're going to speed up. So every once in a while, as a chorister, do you think about the lyrics you're singing? For years, I didn't know. In Oklahoma, I was just happy singing. I don't know. But after a while, actually, after some time, and a few other people, I started listening to the words. Like, whoa, oh, what's this? So anyway, here, and it's the words that's this piece of being published. Yes. Yeah. So whatever that means. But let's try to be more together. There. Let's do the last note of 3 going into 4. So again, tenors and basses, each measure is faster than the one before. It's not stair steps like in Baroque music, but it's gradual. So try not to sit on any tempo. So this is the pickup to page 4. Ready? And let's go! Good. Tenors and basses, the meat at the end is just 1 count. The reason for that is he wants the harmony above the basses, and the tenors have to come in soon thereafter on their solo things. So your note is just 1 count. Also, can you put a D on and? Because it sounds like you're telling us anonymous, like Shakespeare or something. Instead of Tolkien and on. Just do the last 2 bars with the tenor bass meeting. Here's a D minor. Just say Yeah, I hear someone over here doing it perfectly. On and on and on. Maybe overdone, but we needed that to showcase kind of what we need from more of you. Ready without cartooning it. On and on and on and on. And so that you think of the text a little more than just running it all together. Because guess what our balcony does upstairs? It's going to take even what you overdid and run it all together. Good acoustics do that. So just be mindful there. Are there any places here? We're performing at Sunday, so let's make sure we understand it. Let's do it one more time. One more time. So there's speed ups and slow downs, but there's also some louds and some softs. Let's see. Wild tenors, you sounded fabulous on page 5. You can actually take it easier volume wise near the end of that. Oh, I know what it was. It was you came in kind of big-ish. That's the last bar. So just, I guess, be mindful of the balance in the room. Do the penalties. You can go. Just be aware of the eager feet and try to move together. Some of you, it sounds like you have masses over your ears as well as your mouths. Because I don't get a sense. Of course, I'm in a lucky place. I'm here in front of you. But there's a little curve here, and some are on row 4. So listen around. It's a nice room. Here, right? I'm just trying to be as together and use me and as much as you can. Let's go on. We'll do that. I cannot say the next one is. From the door where we go. Kind of straightforward at the end, obviously, right? Good ones are all the time, but no. Good. That was better. Did it feel better? Good. Thank you. Yay. So, I thank you for the Ds. Some of you were putting them in there. I know it's hard to do, but it's, I think it's a good thing. All right, what else? What else is for Sunday? We have, oh, Mozart. Oh my God. Another piece I do not need. We have it. I'll be better with what to say about this? There's a strange breath, sort of not breath, it's a lift at the very beginning, there's two audios in a row. So I take that as an opportunity to do a little frame, that's all. It's just slow enough, we're going to probably walk out of the way. I should not. The reason for that is it's the loudest letter in our alphabet, and if you are running under air, you may be tempted to put the S on early. We'll have this kind of going on. It's hear that? And you have to take one of those quickie breaths to come in on the next note. We fun? I like it. Except funny, back in those days, those bridge notes weren't really bridge notes. They weren't allowed to play those notes, write those notes. So you treat it as a full-fledged down before. Yeah. Without too much of an accent, or else we might get arrested. Oh, that was pretty good. Let's just try it again. The beginning was gorgeous, by the way. Some of you pushed early. There was one push early. Otherwise, it was really good. Imolatum. Yeah. Yes, we're breathing after the pasum. It's virgine. Don't go to the R or some vowel that you might be tempted to go to before the end of that word. B. B like beachy or B. It's every word with B. V-Day. Okay. V. All right. Okay, begin. This is so gorgeous here. We need these double suspensions to work, so make sure you find your notes. Tenor bass is cross voicing and interesting clashes of harmonies here that Mozart put in. So make sure you find good starting notes. Add crescendos on those, please. These estos and those undas. Oh, yeah. Bar 30, 31, particularly there. Let's go back to the phrase before. On the purest dark vowel we have, which is unda, right? Unda. We'll start on cruise. Here's the chord. Song, and I'd like to feel a little more, it's pretty romantic. So, teasing, so let's start easy, and then go somewhere, and then relax. So see how much we can get away from without getting arrested by the road. Switch to the water piece, and then we'll all examine. Good. Let's see, and we want some shall we start? Esto. We'll do the esto again. 1, 2, 1. together no matter how long your note is. Being empathic to those that are considered sopranos, because they are going to need to breathe and move on. So everyone will breathe. Want the valley quarter note for those that need to know note values there. So we'll all have a valley quarter note, and then in sopranos, how do we do that? There's something that gives you the freedom and the witness. The what? Strauss? I'm not sure about that. You'll be arrested. Okay.
But that's mine, we're going to.
Who doesn't love? Okay, but he had to say that. He would have been arrested. Anyway, it's like, more importantly, I think we don't want to attack person. And don't think we are. Don't think it would. So you don't need to go over that. But let's do, there's no place to start, maybe, but maybe circle 35. Some of you are in the middle of something here. 1, 2, 3, go. Yeah, that was a little too much slow down, but it was most part of it was just to the ending one more time. The soprano just released. Yeah, that's one to try to memorize because it's the most perfect thing, right? Fabulous. Okay, so now let's look at June 2-5. Second rehearsal, fifth. This is kind of what we'll dive into on the second. And also we'll probably dive into other things for fun because we will have some time on our hands. Come on the second. To look at other music that we're continuing on tour. It'll give us a chance to have fun with music. We haven't sung in a while. I'm sure on the Sunday night by Lordson and Concord by Britain and what are some other fun ones? Well, not fun, but some of the things that are in our because it would be a shame to have an in-person rehearsal that you have to fly 6,000 miles to get. Oh yeah, we'll have our first rehearsal will be in feels kind of hard. So I think we'll take advantage of the 2nd of June a little bit. All right, let's look at the road home. This one is juicy. It has places where you can really sing out a little bit and dive into the pool. And while we're finding music, just a reminder, I have 3 tickets to the San Francisco Symphony, Saturday the 11th of June and Saturday the 18th of June. So we talk out. Talk to me afterwards. Highest bidder, go. Right. So what needs to be said about the road home? Besides, there's two verses. So you have to go back into the second verse. The first verse is different than the second verse, duh, but the breathing scheme is different also. Let's just say the words of the first verse. 1, 2. I can't call my own. So long. Years I have wandered. Oh, not read here, there's no way. Not read, there's no way. See that? You'll want to read earlier, because on the next verse, we will do. Okay. How do you write on a two-verse thing that you read in a different place and you don't read on the first verse differently than you do on the second verse? So you have to write little rainbows and NDs and check marks, 1X only, I don't know. But you need to do it because I can't do it for you. All right, so let's sing that. Oh, before we do though, let's see if we can memorize this little beautiful angelic introduction. South of what's that? Everyone does. 1, 2. Right. We'll sing that again at the end of the first verse. And then we'll sing that again at the end. Oh, at the very end, it's a little different. Let's do that again as it's written, and then we'll do the third one, which is a little different basis. Actually, this time, no. Let's see if they got it. Ready, 1, go. Beautiful, isn't it? Now let's look at the third one and see how different it is. I think it's mostly different in the base, but it may be a lot different. It may be different a little bit in the page 5. So it's the last one. It's where there's no words. Now here's where I like to have the first finals sing the second part on verse 3. You see the so yeah, I'm using that as final 1. And then I'll start introducing the official final parts. At the very end, I kind of like it that the first comes hold on all the way across. So instead of dropping out, there, go. Stagger breathe, yeah, stagger breathe. Make sure you don't stagger breathe though, right? There, for everyone else to do. There's a place where everyone can breathe. Go on. Just try to breathe before there. That's enough. Page 7. Oh, do we sing 4 times? Is that what we say? Oh, right. We do because we have to do that in the third, before the third verse. Right. So actually we sing that opening bit a third time before the third verse. Now we're doing the fourth one, which is way over on page 7. Sorry. That's right. So here's the fourth one. And let's see, the only difference. So first crowd, you're already home. Go. Yeah, and that's kind of cool there. Whoever's supposed to follow, you like that? Car siren. Ready? So you see the bass that does something else, but now we're finishing the song. So Paulus has decided to give you different notes, basses at the end. So bass gets. Yeah, it's a normal bass line. Yeah, well, don't. You can, for now, do anything you want, you can try to make it work. Now, don't sing good if it's a low C. Sing. Let's try the ending now, one more time. One, three, and at some point, second, yeah. And first time, second place, three, is for the second place. It'd be good to kind of memorize that because then you can enjoy the song more. Try not to get into this because the song will never go anywhere. It's about a road. It's not about potholes. Great face. So let's see if we can find. after rain, there's a something in the air, and you have to have some reason to go forward to all these years, or whatever the next words are. Oh, let's see more and more of that. So, which brings up, there's some gorgeous harmonies in there, really gorgeous ones. There's two in particular. Well, there's one in particular, and it's right there. You see the word Coco Rinse in the last on page, whatever it is, bar 19, bar 19. I would love to hear that chord in its entirety. Check your guys out. Ready? And go. And when you get to that note, can you lean into it? Because we have split all the sections, well, two of the sections into two. There's another chord kind of like that. Away from being the goal of. Oh, yeah, baritones. Gold of day, baritones. Gold of day basses. I might have asked the second tenor in someday to sing that. I forget. You might remember from years ago. I don't know. Gold of the tenor. Gold of day. I forget. Let's just start, do the verse one more time. I was just imagining it better. So, after wind? After wind. After wind. As I play from a dream in the gold of day, on the bass is only there. 1, 2. Right. Yeah, it's supposed to be by step, isn't it? So make sure you don't take an extra step in there. All right, cool. Those last. Can you make the oohs sound like they're coming from another part of the world or something like really a little softer, possible. Like just saying, lead me home. And by the way, it's lead with a D, isn't it? So I hear lead me, lead me, lead me home, lead me home. Lead. The gorgeous chord. Here we go. Bass, lead. Good. We can do that ooh one more time. Only do it this way. Put your music all the way down. And watch. To have that flexibility would be awesome, right? If we're moving together, now the last verse. This is the one where we have extra soprano. So kind of use it, enjoy it. Here we go. I'll play first soprano as we do this, just to remind us that Ellie will play first soprano just to show you how it goes. Here we go. This is the louder verse and faster verse. What's the first two words? Well, rise up. These masks are fabulous. Rise. That makes sense? Just say the words of the last verse. Just say like one, and we get to breathe a lot on this verse, right? I think it's rise up, do this, do that, sing this, feel this. There's no such beauty as where you want to rise up. Follow me. I will lead you home. Just yeah, you get to breathe a lot on this verse, which is good because it's louder, fuller. There's love in your heart. We want to hear that love. Here is, just say the words. 1, 2. Rise up, follow me, come away, is dark call. There's a love in your heart, that's the only song. There is no such beauty as where you belong. Rise up, follow me, I will lead you home. From memory. See what that is? It's not hard to sing if you get all those opportunities to feel and get into the words of this last verse. Let's sing that last verse one more time. Here's that last. Now, there's a place where the seconds even split, don't there?
Yes.
That isn't important. I think I decided. Yeah. Oh, I'm looking wrong.
Yeah. There's
Yeah. You know what you could do? Second class is seeing two quarter notes on the word lead. You see what I did? It's like you sing both notes, but you do one after the other because it's like F and then go down to the A. You know the A F. That's an answer. It's like yeah. That's kind of my answer today. But it makes sense. Thanks, guys. That way we cover all the notes. Cool. So let's sing this last verse, see if we can make something musical out of it. Well, you know what? Since we're singing a D, let's not. Does anyone understand what we have? Because the D is in the high spot. So they're taking care of the defaults in a big way. Okay, here we go. Rise up. 1, 2. Rise up. With the morning, there is no such you. Rise up, follow me, I will lead you. Great. Come on the side, we got the right acoustic, the balance, that particular tool. I know some of you are thinking, when are we going to sing that? No, but it's so gorgeous, I'd like to try. And we'll see if we've got the right forces on any given day for that. Thank you all so much. What I'd like to do is end early and not take a break. Is that okay? You're not, we'll have a chance to chat anyway, because I need to have a conversation with a couple. So we've got two more songs, and I believe they're called Zion's Walls. Elliot, are you ready for that? Woohoo! And what's the other song? Oh, let's do Hymn of These Times. Let's do him first. We can talk. Now, how many of you have the version that has Q equals 42 at the top? That's the one I'd like for you to have. If you have a different one, if you have the different one, there may be a note or two slightly different, and the page number, the measure numbers will be different. But it's the same song. So you're fine.
I don't know. Whatever's like,
Okay. How do you pronounce the second word of bar 3? Good. How do you pronounce the second word of bar 7? E. Now, even though it's an H, it's silent, so the vowel sound will still be E. tricky there, but yes. The hour. The owl and the hour. What's unique about bar 23, those that have this version that I'm holding my hand? Bar 23, which is your bar 20. Yeah, double speeds. It goes twice as fast. Why? I don't know. Composers recording. Yeah, Q means quarter note equals that many times per second, a minute. Software. Yeah, we had to do a Brady Bunch video where everyone at home had to put in a recording that synced to a file that was, I had to create a file that replicated the composer's wishes. So I ended up having to create 4 bars. I had to write in every retard, the nth degree. I wrote in 30-second rests, 64th rest at the end. Some of you may have never seen a 64th rest. At the very end, someone, who was it? You said, what's that ladder at the end?
Yeah.
It's a 64th rest. It was just a way to break just slightly before it was so slow, he slowed down so far. At the end, I had to like, how do I show that? So that's what I came up with. It's not graceful, I'm sorry. But if you want to know how fast the composer went in recording, the speed limits are all through this. Yeah. Here's G major. Altos you sing the bass note, sopranos you sing the tenor. It's because 1, 2. We all end on the same note there. Yeah. Right. That's not everyone right. It is low. That's written for all male. They just really highlighted. So don't get too comfy out there. If we're going to use your normal. I'm taking it faster than what's written, obviously. But I would like to go faster no matter what we do on measure 10. As the sun becomes today. That you see it's 52 miles an hour there. That means we go faster. We go faster there. What else? Yeah. We're doing them subtly. It's just I'm not. Yeah, Jay is not on our tour, so he's not here. But we were trying. We had permission from him to create this video, so I wanted to replicate what I heard, what he authorized as a recording for us to do. That's why you see what you see. Okay. So yeah, if you do these rhythms, and I will sort of do the speeds, but don't worry about them. Okay, let's just start one more time, just to get you some notes. Sorry that the solos from the top. Here's G major. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Still night and bright the stars, still the owl and soft still on the vine on mother's sleep sings, still the hours of night morning as the sun becomes golden keeps arriving with tears of sorrow fill the rising stream. Try to sing the notes out of there. He has written some gorgeous harmonies, and like altos, tenors, you're singing along just fine, and all of a sudden you might hear something that conflicts with what you would prefer to hear. We need you to actually sing out there instead of back away in fear that you're singing the wrong song. Because he's trying to create nice, interesting harmonies all the way through this. Okay, let's keep going. This music here is different. So parallels are kind of in normal place now. 2, 3, and it's louder. Ready? Go. Praise the morning come to the simple truth where we as one belong. Not one voice, but many voices, not one note, but still one song. Yeah. Not one voice, but still one song. That's exactly right. And the butt note you'll see is a contralto, but it's more powerful. Let's go back to that strange quarter notes series where it's actually like eighth notes. This is measure 23. The speed limit now is 82 miles an hour. 0, 1. The alto is kind of low, but some of you are having ready. No. Not one voice, but many voices. Not one note, but still one song. Not one crying, not one grieving, not all hearts to know. Does that make sense? Let's do it again, though, because I think you're not quite buying his music just yet. Let's do the last 2 measures again. Actually, let's go before that. Fall to the simple truth. Yes. One more time. Okay. Oh yeah. Everyone. Just sing song of sorrow. Just sing song of sorrow. Ready and go. Yeah, we don't think of the R because the R will actually bring that up and down. not the most graceful voice leading, obviously, but it's dramatic. The effect out here is great. And now let's all start there. Ready? Hey, tenor, you have your own conflict, your tenors. Tears are ready. Go. Tears of Now, look at the speed limit, the last 4 bars. Well, let's just say it. Now, we don't have to go that slow, but we would like to retard gravity. And there's the ladder at the end. So, and all that means is just a little sliver of diaphragm. But the merciful has interesting rhythms, and the visual is so fussy there, right? The effect is like, may we are. It's just that, really. That's all it is. We're just trying to sing together. And even if we're not together on purpose, you're fitting in the jigsaw puzzle. To the ending. Let's starting where it gets high all of a sudden. They all of a sudden have to sing soprano. Yeah, I think play everything. This is measure 32. Ready, and go. Ladies and gentlemen, vigil, and a bass. Right. So, for 37, let's go ahead and do what we're going to do on tour. Let's go ahead and breathe after D, as long as you are empathic to which voice part. Tenors. You see why? in measure 37, respect the tenors, because they have another note to sing before we should leave them out in the ground. The 4th beat, so if I start. Just, you won't hear them, but just hold on a little bit. So, yeah, everyone's breathing. It's just, it's one of those quick breaths. But yes. Yeah, back when we did the recording, we took a breath instead of the flows, as you can see. And then we tried not to breathe until 3 bars later. I think we're a bit easier. Yeah, so we in love our service by, we'll start on the high note as water faithful. Hello. Ready and go. As awful as that rhythm looks at the end, it's not that. Say the words at the end, and may we, ready, and go. May we, our merciful, angel, that's it. Yeah, it's just classic. So the notes are pretty easy, except those places where you're like surprised by what it's meant to do, make the music really sound a little more. But we have 3 weeks before we sing this, so or more. Great, and we'll end our rehearsal on Aaron Copeland, which can't be too hard, can it? It's a rollicking piece. As it said, compound time, so your body moves left and right. Feel your arms and your body just swinging. You play the melody in those chords. Rather short chords. And you just leave those pedals ringing. Orchestral. You feel orchestral. Are you signing me or did you do this? I'm reading this. Okay, sorry. Don't worry. Yeah, I'll try my best. Play, whatever you want. Good next week. We'll come in. We're already. I'll just sing with them. Go. Pencil, pencil, pencil. Chopped liver. Not chop. If you're gonna, the bass goes, the tennis goes Zion. And then I go, oh, 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 oh. So those four notes. You can play them, but not for now. Just wait and get used to them. We're basically going, oh, oh, oh. And here you can next, if we're waiting for you so for those that know this piece, it's automatic because I do the same every time. But for those that don't know this piece, we're putting a big caesura after the first quarter note.
And then it's not like to see this, it's like this. We're going to do the last 3.5 bars. One by one.
Because Mr. Copeland said slightly slow. So we're gonna shout and go round, shout and go round, shout and go round. The walls of Zion, the walls, the walls, the walls of Zion. The walls of Zion. Yeah, I think that's more in spirit of what he wanted, as opposed to. So just say the words, well, let's sing a little bit. Let's start maybe the subito piano. Important for everyone to know where subito pianos are. There are 2 of them in this piece. They're important because you have to get songs. Everyone should try to get songs together. It's the last one is page 10, bar 49. Last. And then we go into this kind of heading on. We'll shut wheel. And I love this part 10 of it. Pa pa pa, bee pa pa, bee pa pa, bee pa pa. So here we go. You don't have to stay soft very long. 1 minute, go. We'll shut we'll shut say the words again. I couldn't tell where anyone was. Just here we go. Last word of bar 49. 1 minute, go. wheel shot. Let's do just the pound now. Ready and go. Wheel shot. Let's try tenor bass. Same place. And go. Wheel shot. Wheel shot. Wheel shot. Wheel shot. Wheel shot. The walls of Zion. Of Zion. You have it easy at the end. Careful, I feel like the wheels are a little bit. Shout, wheel, shout, right? Wheel, shout, wheel, shout, wheel. Yeah, don't go wheel, shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout. It's we will shout, comma, we will shout, comma, we shall shout. You know, it's like, there's commas there, I think. Yeah, so drop them and come in early enough so that we have the effect. As it's like ta 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 tia ta 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 tia. We'll shout, we'll shout, we'll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think you're 5. It's a little late. Because by the time you get to the vowel, your W is still moving around in your mouth. We'll shout, we'll shout, we'll. Because they're going around in circles, and you need to meet them in circles. Okay, let's try that again. Tenor bass, 1 to go. We'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout. The walls of Zion, the walls of Zion. Yeah, see that way we won't be late for those walls. Let's try everybody now speaking. Ready and go. We'll shout, go round, shout, go round, shout, go round, shout. Shout the walls of Zion. The walls of Zion. The walls of Zion. This is for you. Now try singing it, and you can play if you want. Here we go. Here's the same note, bass, tenor. It's 1 and go. We'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout. What's kind of cool is your one notes and the ooh. Okay. Does that make sense? Is there anything else I'm forgetting to say? Is that we do that on page 5 as well? The whole circle thing. It's the same music, except you don't have to worry about that. But we need to do it one more time because there's that thing. So on page 5, well, let's just do the whole song again. The sopranos, altos, you go to tenors, you go to E flats, A flats on strange pitch turns. Let's play the last measure of 5 and go to the next measure. So we're in the key of F major, having a happy time. Key of F, first measure. Bottom of 5, last measure. Also, A flat. This time. And then Elliot will go back to key of F. back to the key we've been in all along. He does another side trip to the same harmony sort of bottom of 7 last measure. This time it happens before you turn the page. And then he goes back after he plays around in that key. Like the key event. Let's do it one more time. This piece only lasts a minute, 20 seconds anyway, so. We're still building that down wall. But that, you guys, I think you get the swing of it. Okay, let's just start, pick up the 5. And you just enjoy the downbeats and the fullness of each. 1, 2, 3. We'll shout, we'll shout. For those that were counting, he dropped the measure beat. So once you get used to it, but that was great sound. You found that D flat chord, that's great. We're going to start top of 6. You can sing or not sing, I don't care. Do come in. Here's top of 6. It's always like 4 counts after chord changes for you guys when you hold those notes. Depends on what you count. You know, it's 6 counts, 4 counts, 4. But it makes sense. There's some consistency on the part of the vocal here. But we'll just to keep things moving along. Let's do top of 8, second minute. It's fine. Thank you. We do not have rehearsal next Thursday. First off, yeah, be sure to say I'm going to be especially obsessive and wires for me. Gans and I are celebrating 60 years, 59, okay, 59 years of service to that university across the way. Yes. Tickets here. Oh, Eric and Wes, if I can talk to you just real quick. And thank you, those at home. Thank you, Tracy, for all that you're doing for the travel group. It's just been fabulous. Thank you, choir. We'll see you Sunday morning. Those that can make it, please. Yeah, we do a normal one at 9:30 in the morning. Good to see some of you back. Good to see you. Yeah.